It's October 25th, 2017. The reason I'm speaking here now, making this video, is to talk about a very special person named Katelyn Nicole Davis. For those of you who don't know, Katelyn was a remarkable 12-year-old girl who once lived in Cedartown, Georgia. Tragically, she took her own life December 30th of 2016. If you'd like to learn more about her, I would encourage you to look her up on the internet to learn about her. But in speaking about Katelyn, I'd rather not talk about death, I'd rather talk about life, because that's really what Katelyn's all about. Katelyn gave us a lot of life. In the month preceding her death, she gave us many live streams of herself in which she sang and danced, and she made jokes, did humor. She had some depressive moments. She gave advice to help the victims of bullying. But above all, she displayed a fantastic defiance against the situation in which she found herself. Katelyn, yes, Katelyn's life and death was very unique. She was a very talented girl, outspoken, very confident. Above all, she was highly intelligent. And yet, all that wonderfulness in her was combined with terrible tragedy. She had, in my opinion, just about the worst family imaginable. She had a stepfather who was sexually abusive, and poor Katelyn was manipulated by an online pedophile by the name of Luke Callahan. If you want to see the whole story of that, you can see it online. But what I'd like to say is that because of the way Katelyn met all of that and dealt with it, she reminds me of one other person in history who I think is very similar, and that is Anne Frank. Both Katelyn Nicole Davis and Anne Frank were young women placed in terrible situations in which they never knew what was going to happen to them from one day to the next. There was a lot of fear and deprivation. And yet, despite all that, they had the conviction to never internalize or become like all of the evil and the malice that surrounded them. And because they were true to themselves and they never became like that evil, they were able to give us the fantastic works of art that they both did. In Anne Frank's case, she gave us the diary, which we all know about. And in Katelyn's case, she gave us the live streams. Now, what do the live streams show us? You have to think about what made Anne Frank famous in 1955, when the Broadway play of her first came out. There you see the story of a young woman who, despite being surrounded by terrible evil, never lost her faith in humanity. And now, if you fast forward to 2016, you see something very similar in Katelyn Nicole Davis. You see a young woman placed in horrible conditions, and yet remaining compassionate, caring, and concerned for others right to the very end. In my opinion, Katelyn deserves to become as famous as Anne Frank. She displays a lot of the same qualities that Anne did. I think she is a new kind of hero for us. She's a very fragile and very human kind of hero, but she is a gift. She's a gift to us now that came to us from our interconnected and social media age.